Hi, my name's Kristen Boddy and I'm an IELTS teacher at Viva College in Brisbane. Today in Spotlight on IELTS, we'll be talking about the IELTS Listening Test. We've reviewed the basic rules of the test before, so I won't go into them in detail, but I do want to remind you that it is a test with 4 sections. Today we'll be talking about section 1. Don't forget, when you're doing the listening test, you must focus on correct spelling and correct plurals. If you write a word as a singular form and it needs to be a plural form, you will get the answer wrong. When they're marking the test, they are happy to accept both British and American spelling systems, so that's not a problem. And also, you're able to write in big or capital letters or small letters. Both are acceptable. Alright, so in section 1, the topic is one of general interest. This might be applying for a course at university, opening a bank account, or making another general kind of inquiry. When you're filling in the answers, you generally have to do some form of note completion. The information that they ask you to fill in the gaps is usually one of these types of pieces of information. The first is related to correct letters. For example, the person speaking might spell the name of a person, a surname for example, a place, maybe a street name, and you need to write the word with the correct spelling. So it's very important that you practice identifying vowels and consonants in English. If you speak a language like Spanish, this can be particularly difficult sometimes when you're hearing the difference between the A, E, I, O, and U sounds. The second thing that you might have to do is complete the gaps with numbers. They might ask you to write down the price of something, or they might ask you to write a phone number, or maybe even a street address with a number in it. So it's really important that you're able to identify numbers clearly and quickly, as they won't pause and give you time to think. The third thing that you might have to fill in is a date, for example, a year. So it's important that you're familiar with the format in which we say years in English. This, for example, we say 1994. This year, 2009. But this year, we often say as 2011. The general rule is anything after 2010, we can begin to say 20. The other important thing to note is when you're writing dates, IELTS is actually quite flexible about the format that you use. So for example, if you're writing these dates here, you can use one of 3 different formats: April 4th, April 4, or 4 April. All 3 of these are acceptable. The final thing that you might need to write in the gap is a measurement of some kind, usually distance measurements, maybe degree measurements, and it's important to know that you can either write the abbreviation, km, or the full word, kilometers, and both of these will be acceptable. So let's quickly review what we've talked about today. In the IELTS listening test, there are 4 sections. They generally get a little bit more difficult as we progress. The first section is about a general topic of interest, applying for a course, opening a bank account, and you usually have to do note completion about topics related to letters, numbers, dates, and measurements. My name's Kristen Boddy. I'm an IELTS teacher at Viva College in Brisbane. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. I hope that you'll join us again next time for Spotlight on IELTS. Bye for now.